me that you love me, even if it's fake.
Hi everyone, Manic Lord here on the Mokey Community Series. I present to you my number 17 Leviathan Dragon Mat and my take on a popular meta deck, Chaos Flip Turbo. So without further ado, let's crack on. For the monsters, I have 1 BLS and 3 Chaos Sorcerer. So the 3rd Chaos Sorcerer normally gets cut nowadays. I like the 3rd Chaos Sorcerer because it means that I can use my discard cards without having to worry about losing a Chaos Monster. We have 3 Thunder Dragon, which all good modern Chaos decks run. It's good dual protection and goes well with your discard cards. For the flip monsters, I've got 2 Magician of Faith and 2 Night Assailant, pretty standard. I have Cyberjaw and Morphin Jaw. Cyberjaw gets cut also nowadays, but I like it a lot in this particular build. It digs deeper into my deck and gets me 5 cards, and Morphin Jar the same, allows me to discard monster heavy hands. It does suck to discard the Chaos Monster, but that's the reason why I'm running 4 Chaos Monsters. And the last flip monster I have in my lineup is Old Vindictive Magician. So it's the same flip effect as Night Assailant, which you can target one monster your opponent controls and destroy it. There are times where you don't want to set Night Assailant, you want to keep the Night Assailant in your hand so that it gives you the extra card advantage in hand. So you can safely set this card, and most of the time it just gets hit by a no mill crossout. Other benefit is that it's a dark monster. My main dark monsters are Sangan, Breaker, and Double Kaiku. Sangan and Breaker are self-explanatory, I think. Kaiku is quite relevant in a meta full of Chaos decks. To round up the monster lineup, I have 1 Azure Priest, 1 Tribe Infecting Virus, and 1 Sinister Serpent. I like Azure Priest a lot. It allows me to swing over goats. It also allows me to swing over a lot of weaker monsters. Tribe Infecting Virus, clear the field, discard a flip monster, Night Assailant, or Sinister Serpent, or Thunder Dragon, and make the way for a game shot. Lineup, we have Trinity, Pot of Greed, Ghost of Charity, Link of Doom, nothing more to explain about them, and Card Destruction. Discards your hand, draw a fresh hand. Obviously goes really well with the Thunder Dragons, Night Assailant, and Sinister Serpent. Back Row Hate, Heavy Storm, MST. Yeah, I like this. I like these 2 cards. I like the MST in this particular build. Snatch Steal, steal your opponent's monster. 2 Book of Moon. I'm used to running double book. I think this is the right number for this build. And to run up the spells, 2 Noble Mill Crossout. Yeah, you need these. You need 2 of these. Deal with opponent set monsters. For the traps, I have 2 Regeki Break. Discard a card, destroy any card on the field. Pretty good with your Thunder Dragons, your Night Assailants, and your Sinister Serpent. You can also use it, discard a dead card in your hand. Very worst case scenario, you discard a light or a dark, and that fuels your Chaos Monster. I have Mirror Force, Torrential Tribute, and Ring of Destruction. Standard monster destruction in the format. Nothing more to say about these. I have 2 copies of Trap Dust Shoot. You love them or you hate them. I love them in this build. Hand knowledge is always very good. Players tend to hold 4 or more in the hand a lot. You can always side them out when they're not very useful. Last card in my build, last trap, is Return from a Different Dimension. So I like this as a one-off in this build. I normally manipulate my graveyard and work towards fueling this card. So obviously Thunder Dragon is the main target, and then for my darks I run Breaker, Kaiku. It goes really well against opposing Chaos Monsters when they banish your Chaos Monsters, and you flip this and you swing for game with your big Chaos Monsters. Side deck, I have 1 Jinzo and 3 Royal Decree. I always want to side in Jinzo wherever I can. It's one of the cards that I got a long while back of my DB1 Ultra Rare copy. yeah, side these guys in against all the trap heavy decks, so aggro, warriors, and burn to some extent. 2 legendary Jujutsu Master, side these in against aggro decks that like to attack monsters. In case you don't know what it does, when this defense position monster is attacked, return that monster to the top of the deck. Yeah, it's pretty good for setting your opponent back a turn if they're not careful. For other Chaos flip decks, I have 2 Mind Control, pretty strong card. Yeah, steal your opponent's Magician of Faith is the ideal situation, but you can't complain if you steal a Dekoichi, or you steal the Knight Assailant, steal a Chaos Monster. That's pretty good as well. Sasuke Warrior Samurai. Yeah, I think attack points kinda don't matter in this particular deck. I mean, I thought it'd be cool to run it instead of Mystic Swordsman. Just summon it, attack over a set monster. It's pretty good. Lightning Vortex. Side it in against the decks that like to spam their field. Yeah. 2 copies of Necromantic King. I set it in against Empty Jar. I know it's not the best against a knowledgeable opponent, but for the times where it does come up, it's pretty strong. I have 2 copies of Curse Seal of the Forbidden Spell. So I like this card better than Magic Jammer. I know that discarding spell cards are high cost, but you really want to sometimes seal out a key spell card, like Giant Trunade, like in Library FTK, or for any decks that like to have a huge swing. Also good in against Empty Jar, negate their Book of Taios, and Reason Gates is another card that you can play this. I normally tend to use this on Monster Gate and Dimension Fusion, but there are times where you do need to negate other spell cards. And the last card in the side is the 3rd Trap Dust Shoot. Side it in for all those spell heavy decks that I mentioned. Yeah, nothing more to say about it. I hope you liked the deck profile. Please be sure to leave a like, leave your comment in the comment section below, and be sure to subscribe to the channel. See you around.